Okay, in this lecture we're going to give a quick run-through demonstration of how to send and receive transactions on the Ethereum test network called Ropsten, and how to use the browser plugin Ethereum wallet MetaMask to do that. So I'm going to assume at this point that you already have MetaMask installed in your browser. Our goal is going to be to create a new address, go to a faucet that gives out free testnet Ether, make some transactions and look them up on Etherscan to see that they're working. Now, if you've already installed MetaMask, you should be able to click on the MetaMask browser icon. That should load the plugin like this. Now, the very first time you do this, you'll have to create a 12-word seed and set a password. If you're just clicking it again and you've logged out because you've restarted your browser, you may have to type your password again to log into the plugin. But once you're there, you should see something like this. Now, it's a bunch of different features here. First of all, make sure that you're on the test network here. MetaMask lets you switch between different forms of test network and the main Ethereum test network. We just want to be on Ropsten. If you click this icon here, you'll see a list of different accounts. You can recover all of these accounts from that seed that you create. For now, we're just going to go to create account. We get to give it a name here. This is going to load one of the new addresses associated with that seed. Once you create a new account like this, you'd expect to see no Ether balance. We initially don't have any on this account. And you can go see your address here. You can make out the text of the address. It's a little bit small, but we can go copy the text here. Now, we're expecting to see not any transactions for this address yet. But I just want to point out that we can go into Etherscan here. And not only does Etherscan let you have a view of the Ethereum testnet, of the Ethereum main network, you can also go to ropsten.etherscan.io, and this is a block explorer for the testnet. So I go and paste my address here and look it up, and I should see no transactions and no Ether. That's what I'd expect so far. Now what we want to do is get some Ether sent to this address using one of the testnet faucets. I'll show you what it looks like for one of these. Occasionally new faucets gets added, so I'm just going to search for Ropsten testnet faucet and show you what some of the options are here. This one, faucet.metamask.io, is the one we're going to use. There's another one, faucet.ropsten.be, that I found hasn't been working as well recently. But we can just go to this one here. Now what this is showing you is, here's the address of the faucet that you can request some free Ether from. It has millions of Ether, so we're not going to use it all up by asking for some now. And this is us. This is the address that's currently the active account address in MetaMask. It even shows you what its balance is right now. So when we click this button, it's actually going to request Ether sent to us by this website, this faucet website. And if we go look at the transactions that we see here, it even shows us what that transaction looks like. So you can see that Etherscan is already aware of this transaction that the faucet generated and sent to us. We're still waiting for it to be mined and included in a block. It hasn't been committed yet. You can see it's from the address of the faucet, and it's going to the address that we just created. It should probably take just a few seconds here. When I refresh this page, I see that there we go, the transaction's already been committed. You can see the value that was transferred and other facts about the transaction being committed. And sure enough, also, if we go to this view of searching by our address and refresh again, you'll see there's one transaction that's been sent to this address. It has that balance of one testnet Ether. And that's what we can see about our account so far. Okay, this is all for the first couple of steps. What else do we want to do? Well, part of your challenge is going to be to complete a transaction using your address. So I have here the link to the transaction. It's the instructor's address, so I want you to send me a transaction. And what that looks like is, we'll copy this address that we want to send testnet Ether to. Open up your MetaMask you see this now shows this balance of 1 Ether. If I hit send, I'll get some information about how I can send a transaction. So I can confirm which account I'm trying to send it from here. I'm going to paste the address from my clipboard. All right, that's the address I'm going to send some to. And I'm going to send half of the testnet Ether that I just got from the test network by entering it into the amount. We'll talk about gas and gas fees a lot more later, but for now, just let it pick whatever these defaults are. We shouldn't need to change that for now. And in an Ethereum transaction, you can send some data along with the transaction. That's going to be important later for interacting with smart contracts, but for now, we just leave that blank. And we'll go ahead and send this transaction. Okay, click to confirm. It's just showing me the total amounts. Okay, now we see this transaction here is listed as a transaction we've sent in MetaMask. Now MetaMask will let us go click on this transaction directly. It also opens it in Etherscan, just like we'd expect. If you refresh the view of the Etherscan page for our address, you'll see that let's see here. Should expect to see a second transaction added in a moment. Yeah, there we go. This is the transaction sending 0.5 Ether. Let's see if this shows the second transaction. Yeah, this Etherscan page for our address now shows 2 transactions. The first one incoming that we received from the faucet, and the second one outgoing that we sent here to the instructor's address. So that was it. That's how to create a new account in MetaMask, how to go ask for some testnet Ether from a faucet, and how to send a transaction and look up your address on the testnet Etherscan. Next time we're going to dig into smart contract programming and look at the Remix IDE and how to send transactions to smart contracts, how to interact with smart contracts using MetaMask and the Remix IDE.